Sit down. Take off your mask. So, Bats, I was thinking, you really could use a friend in here. Someone to talk to, share secrets with. Shall we start with the big one? Who is that behind the mask?
This is pretty much what remains of my OG PS5 controller. As a kid, I was never one to mess with or open up my controllers and change things and paint the faceplates or anything like that. I always thought if I opened my controller that I was going to mess something up, that no one was going to be able to buy me a new one, so I just stayed away from opening my controllers. But I know a lot of people make controllers as a hobby and design them and change buttons and paint them and do different things with them. So that's what this video is going to be about. eXtremeRate reached out to me, which is a company who basically makes all types of controller mods and faceplates and attachments for your controller that you can basically do on your own. You can buy a faceplate, back buttons, LEDs, anything, you name it, RGB lights for your controller. You can do all of that. They were kind enough to allow me to pick a remap kit, a backplate, and a faceplate. So everything on the controller I got to pick, and they sent it out to me. So shout out to eXtremeRate for reaching out and sending that over. Now, I did not know what I was getting myself into because, like I said, I don't take apart controllers, so I didn't want to mess anything up in the video or in the controller. So I got someone with some prior knowledge, some expertise in the subject, who has never taken apart a PS5 controller or put one back together himself, but he said he worked on PS4 controllers, so it was the closest I could get to hiring a professional. At this point right here when we knew we didn't know what we were doing. So we started winging it. Well, he started winging it. I hired a professional so he could watch a how-to from the company that sent this.
Uncrease this bad boy. We went ahead and put the back on after putting the battery in and all that stuff that goes on the inside. So now we're going to screw this back down. And
then the black
front two screws and back two screws, and then these can go back on, and then lastly, snap this back in place. This is the first thing we took out, went right here. And then you'll have your controller all set up.
Gosh darn. I will say, for someone that had no full knowledge on taking apart the PS5 controller and putting it back together, he was comfortable enough to mess around with the screws and put everything where it goes and rewire everything. The mics and all of that are back in place where they should be, and the controller is fully functional and can be used right now with the PlayStation. I just turned it on. This was the result right here. It looks pretty sick. They gave me the option to pick from a bunch of different colors. You can also check out their website or their Amazon page. You can choose from a variety of colors and textures and a bunch of different things. I went with the Joker faceplate that they had. I think it looks really cool. They had another one, but I liked this one better. Since the controller is Joker themed, I decided to go with a green textured backside. It looks really cool. You can see the texture right there. It's also very comfortable to hold. As far as the remap kit, they did send me this remap kit. You can basically, once you're inside the controller, rewire some of the things in the controller. I don't even know exactly what it is because, like I said, I have no experience with controllers. I know some people are like geeked off controller and mods and stuff like that, but I don't exactly know how to rewire. He wasn't comfortable rewiring it either. They do have a step-by-step tutorial on how to do it, and if you're comfortable messing around with the small screws and wires inside the controller, then you can get that done. For me, it's more about the looks. I think it looks really good. eXtremeRate did a really cool job. I do wish this was a matte finish. I hope it doesn't like wear away over time because I feel like that can happen, but I also tend not to use my second controller as much, and that's why this is kind of just going to sit there as a trophy probably, and on the rare occasion that we need a second controller, then we will go ahead and use it. But the remap kit does actually work once you get everything wired. For right now, this is just on there so that I can show you exactly what they sent me. It is pretty comfortable and easy to reach, and you could rewire the touchpad to the backside. You could rewire the sticks and things like that. Another reason why we didn't actually do it is because I don't have any soldering equipment. I do not have a heat gun either. That's why the touchpad ended up being white. They did give me a matching touchpad that went with the Joker theme, and it has a Joker card. We weren't able to put that on there because in order to get the little motherboard or whatever it is, whatever's configured behind the touchpad is actually glued on there, and you have to get the adhesive out with a heat gun. That's how they show it in the eXtremeRate video, and we had no access to a heat gun and didn't want to like pry it off or anything, so we left the white touchpad. We could have put the Joker one and not had a functioning touchpad, but I'd rather have a functioning touchpad that is white than having a non-functional touchpad just for show that match the controller. I think my favorite part from the whole thing would have to be the backside. I think the controller handles with this green grip looks really cool, really sleek, and it sort of matches the green on the front here that's on his hair. Yeah, pretty dope controller. If you know what you're doing, you can rearrange everything, build it, and take it apart really fast. Obviously, like I said, I didn't know what I was doing, so I wanted to make sure that the controller was able to make it to this video, and it did, and I was using it, and everything works perfectly fine. The backside, however, is just here for show, to show you what they sent me, the remap kit. I will go ahead and leave a link in the description of this video to a video where the RISE4 Remap Kit is fully functional. If you're interested, you can check that out. For me though, it's more about how cool this controller looks. I think adding some purple control freaks on here would make this controller look even cooler, to go ahead and keep going with the purple and green aesthetic. If you want to make a really cool controller like this one, you can head over to their Amazon page, choose from all the different faceplates. If you want a remap kit, you can get that as well. If you want LEDs or anything like that, you can also add that. I will say the controller does feel a bit heavier than the normal Duelsense controller, maybe because of the faceplate material and the remap kit. It doesn't feel crazy heavy, like it's not that much heavier, but it is a little bit noticeable. Some actual green analog sticks would also make this controller look pretty cool. Other than that, I think it turned out pretty awesome. So once again, thank you to John for putting it together and taking it apart, and thank you to eXtremeRate for going ahead and sending me this really cool faceplate. If you want to build a cool controller like this, I suggest you guys go ahead and check them out over on Amazon or on their website. For all the controller tinkerers out there, the controller designers, painters, whatever you are, if you love controllers and modding them and changing them, you guys can go crazy and build yourself a really cool controller. That's it for this video. I will go ahead and see you guys on the next one.